Good afternoon, my dear students. Today we shall learn about the Indian Constitution, the Constitution of India. So we know India is the largest democratic republic. Here that people from all the religions live. Still, we all are equal. India is one that land farm, we know, and India that got its freedom in 1947. But if we look at the past of India, that hundreds years ago, India was very prosperous. India was very rich country. It was that shining, but because at that time India had been divided in small kingdoms, and the kings, they wanted to spread their, to extend their area, so they were hostile to each other. They had no unity among themselves. Because of this, so India had been divided in small kingdoms, and the kings, they ruled the people. They exploited that at that time they built the temples, whatever at that time they needed. But that time came, it was ruled by the Mughals, the Muslims, and it continued for hundreds of years. You know the story of Prithviraj, and so they are, because they were not united, so India went into the hands of that Muslims, and then they ruled for about that 1191 till 400 years, 500, 600 years. The British came. When the British came into India, at that time Calcutta was the capital, because the East India Company from England, they came to India, that by ships. Aeroplane was not invented at that time, and that France also came to that do business. Portuguese they also came and they established here. The British people, they were very intelligent. They were very knowledgeous. That they so they observed that who are the real Indians, and the that after taking permission, they had come to do the business, but by and by, that after some years, they became the rulers, and their contribution is a lot. That they contributed our postal service, our fast railway, and at that time the girls were not permitted to learn in the schools, but they established the school in Calcutta, where the girls, boys, all could learn. So that all the rulers, they may be Muslim or they may be British, they have contributed a lot. They wanted to contribute something. This was their aim. So, the people in India became educated. They went to England for learning. After coming, they got together. They wanted to that make the India independent, and so many great men were there that I shall tell their names. The father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi, and our Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, that they told, freedom is my birthright. Our that Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Lal Lajpat Rai, and Jawaharlal Nehru, and freedom fighters. But two persons, two great men were different from them. Because they followed Mahatma Gandhi. The ideology of Mahatma Gandhi was truth and non-violence. So, some followers were there. And at the time, there was one great leader, that great patriot, Subhash Chandra Bose. And that he adopted tit for tat policy. Likewise, there was one great freedom fighter, that Sri Aurobindo Ghosh. Sri Aurobindo Ghosh went to England at the age of 7, and he was that a great scholar. He had all the qualities that he had our patriotism, was one nationalist, and he was a devotee, was one truthful person. I admire him. Because life should not be spent in limited thoughts. Life should not be spent in limited actions. That life, the purpose of life, to gain the grace of the Almighty without exception. This is the true purpose. And he fought for our India. When he observed that India will get independence, but it is blind led. Because all others were unknown about the real absolute truthfulness. Sri Aurobindo Ghosh observed it. All were separated from the divine grace. Sri Aurobindo Ghosh observed this. All were separated from the leading of devotional life. Sri Aurobindo Ghosh observed it. Whatever that may be. So, India got independence in 1947, and then that one constitution was written. At that time, one great man was Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, the father of Indian Constitution. If we observe today, everybody is one constitution. Everybody is demanding to change the constitution. But it took 3 years to compose the constitution. At that time, many educated persons were there. Because it was a difficult task. But nowadays, that you watch TV, you read newspapers, you see that the constitution should be corrected. Everybody is demanding that he is a constitution. Where is the fault of the constitution? If you know what to do the right, what is legal, what should be told, it is your moral duty. It should be done. Why does someone want to change the constitution? I think this. At that time, they had written according to the condition of India, according to the people, if you need that true services are important, true services are useful, do them for the people. The people want, the people require all the time that for their development, that for their true education, for their that all rights. So, I shall now read about the Constitution. The Indian Constitution is a legal document which contains basic laws that define the powers and functions of the government. The Constitution lays down the parameters from which concepts flow. Every law has to be in accordance with the spirit of the Constitution. The Constitution also enumerates the rights and duties of the citizens. Every government has to function according to the laws laid down in the Constitution. Our Constitution was prepared by a Constituent Assembly which had representatives from different communities. The Constitution was put into force on 26 January 1950. Constitution and democracy. In a democracy, people choose their leaders so that they can exercise power responsibly on their behalf. However, it is possible that the leaders in power might misuse their authority. This is important. People choose their leaders so that they can exercise power responsibly on their behalf. So in a democratic form of government, that we are selecting the representatives, but most of them forget the responsibility. They want to make money, they want to spend their period without doing. Even if we observe, it is true that that most of the representatives we can't know. We don't see them on TV. Most of the representatives, most of the ministers even, we don't know about them, that they in newspapers, and many representatives, they do absent, and many representatives, most of the representatives, it will be true, they don't have the voice. They cannot speak. They cannot speak. I know that we are observing only that limited representatives, we know them. So, representatives, what is the work of them? They should contribute something. They must contribute something. Because they have got the opportunity to serve the people for 5 years. But they misuse it. They have no voice. They make absence. That we don't know them in our newspapers. They do nothing. They do nothing. And We can't see them on TVs like this. So, how will India progress? India is that paying a lot. India is spending a lot. My dear student, become the truthful persons in future. Become the true patriots in future. That raise your voice. That get this habit. Raise your voice. Whatever is injustice, whatever is unconstitutional, whatever is illegal, India needs such citizens. Be one responsible citizen in your future. However, it is possible that the leaders in power might misuse their authority. Misuse. Don't misuse your time. Don't misuse the Indian money. One money is needed that for many what valuable purpose. One money, 1 rupee. So misuse. Don't misuse your time. Don't misuse your power. Don't misuse your anything. Don't misuse your that responsibility. These are the important things. When you are learning, that be attentive. When you are obeying your parents, that obey them completely. Obey their orders. That they advise you to read, write. They advise you to tell the truth. They advise you to be kind and helpful to the poor, to the innocent. Right? So, then, therefore, Constitution provides safeguards against it. In democratic societies, the Constitution often lays down the rules that guard against this misuse of power by our political leaders. Another function of Constitution in a democracy is to ensure that a dominant group doesn't use its power against other less powerful people or groups. This is the so today. Now the class is over, so we shall discuss that in next class. So that read it again and again. Your purpose is to gain the divine grace. Your importance, your significance, your everything. Gifted by the divine mother, in order to do their work. So that their grace, their glorious grace and process is always active. Remember it. Seasons are changing. The plants are bearing flowers and fruits. The air is moving. The sun is shining. The natural way. By the natural way. So that be simple and natural so that you can gain the grace. This is the purpose of everybody, each and everybody. Thank you, my dear students.